Okay, so dear students, in our previous video, in previous lecture, we learned about the introduction of subject-verb agreement, and we learned the first rule, which was singular verbs ends in s or es. Now let's move to the second rule. The second rule is compound subjects joined by and take a plural verb. A subject that is made up of two or more nouns is a compound subject. When the parts are connected by and, the subject is plural, so it takes a plural verb. So the rule is very simple. Since the subjects are more than one, the subject is plural, so the verb has to be plural. Now see here, the goose and the duck waddle by the pond. Now what is the subject here? The subject is the goose and the duck. There are two things. So it's a plural subject. So we need to have a plural verb in order to agree with this plural subject. The other example is Jack, Kara and Sandy play leapfrog together. Now again we have got this 1, 2, 3 people here. So it's a plural subject. So for plural subject we need to have a plural verb. I give you one or two more examples. Like if we say Ali, Sarah and Atif are students. Now we're talking about three people, Ali, Sarah and Atif. So the subject is compound, subject is plural, so the verb has to be plural. So we have used are, not is. Likewise, my dog and cat are very dear to me. So my dog and cat. So this dog and cat are joined by using and. So it becomes a plural subject. So a plural subject has to have a plural verb. Move on. Let's talk about the third rule. Third rule is subjects with singular nouns joined by or nor take a singular verb. So whenever you're using either or neither, if both these subjects are singular, the verb has to be singular. See here, either you or your sister waters the plants. Now you and your sister, both subjects are singular. So in this case, the verb has always to be singular. The next sentence is neither the treats nor the catnip calms the cat. Again, both the subjects are singular. So if you have got two singular subjects and you are using either or neither, the verb has to be singular always. I give you one or two more examples. Like when you say either he or his brother dash responsible was or were. Now see, he, his brother, they both are singular subjects. So we need to have a singular verb to agree with this subject. So it has to be either he or his brother was responsible. Likewise, neither he nor his brother was responsible. Okay, so let's move to the next rule, which is subjects with a singular noun and a plural noun joined by or nor take the verb that agrees with the closer noun. Now this is the same rule. The only difference is that now in this case you don't have two singular subjects. Your one subject is singular and the other subject is plural. So in this case you're not sure which verb you need to use, whether you have to use singular verb or the plural verb. So the formula is you need to see which subject is closer to the verb. The subject which is closer to the verb has to agree with that subject. For example, syrup or raisins taste good with oatmeal. We have got two subjects, syrup and raisins. Syrup is a singular subject, while raisins is a plural subject. Now, which subject is closer to the verb test? Of course, it's raisins. And since raisins is a plural subject, so the verb has to be plural. Syrup or raisins taste good with oatmeal. If we reverse this sentence, it could be raisins or syrup. Now when you say raisins or syrup, now syrup is closer to the verb. So the sentence would be raisins or syrup tastes good with oatmeal. Neither the students nor the teacher comes to the school during a snowstorm. Now why you have used this singular verb? Because the subject which is closer to this verb is teacher, which is a singular subject. So this single verb agrees with this single subject. I hope you understand this. Let me give you some more examples. For example, if you are saying either he or his brothers, now dash responsible, was or were. Now which subject is closer to the verb? Of course, it's brothers. It's a plural subject, so the verb has to be plural. The sentence would be either he or his brothers were responsible. If we reverse this sentence, either his brothers or he was responsible. Likewise, neither he nor his brothers were responsible, but neither his brothers nor he was responsible. I hope you've got this now. Let's move on. The next rule is subjects are not in modifying phrases. When the subject and the verb are separated by other words or phrases, make sure the verb agrees with the subject, not with a noun with the phrase. As I've explained you earlier, that you need to identify the exact subject. If you are able to identify the subject, it is very easy to know which verb should come, because the verb has to agree with that particular subject. Now if you see this sentence, one of your buttons is missing. Now you might be thinking that the word buttons is used, so why single verb? Now see, we are not talking about all the buttons. Our subject is this one, so it's not all buttons, and it's one of those buttons. So it's one of those buttons is missing. So our subject is singular, so the verb has to be singular. Our neighbor who grows tomatoes shares his harvest with us every year. Now again, our subject is not tomatoes. Our subject is our neighbor. Which neighbor? Who grows tomatoes. So you can simply ignore this additional phrase. So our neighbor shares his harvest with us every year. So singular subject and singular verb. The citizens of Murphy, Texas vote today. Now what is the subject? Citizens, which is plural subject, so the verb has to be plural. Okay, so now the next rule is don't let those phrases fool you. Now phrases using with, together with, including, accompanied by, in addition to, or as well do not change whether a subject is singular or plural. If the subject is singular, the verb should be as well. Now keep in mind that if you have got an additional phrase in your sentence, that additional phrase is not your subject. How can we know that you have got an additional phrase? This additional phrase most of the time is between these two commas. Now the outfit, comma, including the socks, comma, costs $45. Now what is the subject here? The subject is the outfit. This including the socks is an additional phrase which can easily be ignored. So you just simply ignore this, and the subject is the outfit. So if you ignore this additional phrase, the sentence would be, the outfit costs $45. Likewise, the twins as well as their baby brother ride in the shopping cart. Now what is the subject? Your subject is the twins. Now this as well as their baby brother is the additional phrase that you can simply ignore. So the sentence would be, the twins ride in the shopping cart. But if you reverse this sentence and if you say their baby brother as well as the twins, now here we'll use rides. The baby brother as well as the twins ride in the shopping cart. Why? Because this time your subject is their baby brother, which is singular subject, and as well as the twins is an additional phrase that you simply ignore. I hope you've got this. Move on. Now nouns with a plural form but with a singular meaning take singular verbs. Now nouns such as United States, civics, mathematics, measles and news take singular verbs. Apparently they all seem to be plural nouns, but they are singular nouns. So since they are singular nouns, they need to have a singular verb. Alvin at the Chimkins is a cute movie. Now why we have used this singular verb? Because we are talking about Alvin at the Chipmunks. Now this is the name of a movie, one movie. So we are talking about one movie, single movie, so the verb has to be singular. Likewise, we can say we've got the movie Three Idiots. So you can say that Three Idiots is a good movie. You cannot say that Three Idiots are a good movie. Likewise, $15 is too much for a movie ticket. Now when we say $15, we're talking about the price. So we can say the price is too much for a movie ticket. The cost, $15 is the cost. So the cost is too much for a movie ticket. So $15 is used as a singular noun because it means price or cost. So that is why we have used this singular verb here. Likewise, when you say mathematics, mathematics is a good subject. United States is a developed country. Move on. Now, the next rule is that nouns such as scissors, tweezers, trousers, jeans, and chairs take plural verbs. These nouns may appear to have a singular meaning, but each of these things is made up of two parts. Now, if you see these all things, they all are single things, but they are made up of two things. Like Caesar, there are two parts of Caesar, there are two parts of trouser, there are two parts of jeans. So we'll always treat them as plural, not as singular. So when you say Tori's shorts look comfortable, we cannot say Tori's shorts looks comfortable, because shorts is a combination of two things. There are two parts of the shorts. We cannot say just short. And we can never say Caesar, only Caesar. We always have to say Caesars. Trousers, we cannot say trouser. Okay, so all these nouns which have two parts, which is a combination of two things, will follow a plural verb. So Tony's shorts look comfortable. Tim's glasses make him look smarter. Okay. Now what can we do with collective nouns? Now collective nouns usually take singular verbs. A collective noun has a singular form even though it refers to a group of individuals or things. Examples include army, audience, crowd, group, team, committee, class, and family. These nouns take a singular verb when the group acts as one unit. So when you're talking about collective noun, if you're talking about the whole noun as one unit, then it will follow a singular verb. The flock follows the shepherd. So when you say the flock, you're talking about the whole flock as a single unit. So the verb has to be singular. The band plays jazz music. So the whole band as a single unit. So singular verb. The team wins every game. Again, the team is used as a single unit, so verb has to be singular. The team wins every game. However, a plural verb is used when people or things within a group act separately. So if you are talking about a collective noun and you don't mean the whole thing as one unit, you're talking about different individuals in that collective noun, then this noun will follow a plural verb, not a singular verb. So when you say the team disagree about where to celebrate after the game, so here the team is not one unit, you're talking about different people in the team. The committee have divided in their opinion. You cannot say the committee has divided. Likewise, it depends how this collective noun works. For example, if you take two examples, police. Now we are saying police is a corrupt department. Now you're talking about the whole department as single unit. But say police are chasing the thief. Now why you have used are? Because you're not talking about the whole police department chasing that thief. You're talking about some policemen, some individual policemen. So that is why you've used the police are chasing the thief. Likewise, when you say Pakistan is an agricultural country, we say Pakistan have won the match. So when you say Pakistan have won the match, you're not talking about the whole Pakistan as one unit. You're talking about those 11 players in the team. So that is why you have used plural verb. Pakistan have won the match. If the subject follows the verb, the subject and verb should still agree. When the normal subject-verb order is inverted in a sentence, the verb still agrees with the subject. So whenever you use there or here in the beginning, your verb does not follow these words. Your verb will still follow the subject. So this time the subject is coming after the verb. So you said there is a bird on the fence. But if you're talking about birds, you cannot say there is birds on the fence. So we're using there are birds on the fence. So this verb will go with this subject. Here are your clothes, but here is your dress. Now last two rules. The second last rule is with words that indicate portions, look to the object of the preposition. With words that indicate portions, person, fraction, part, majority, some, all, none, remainder, and so forth, look at the object of the preposition to determine whether to use singular or plural verb. If the object of the preposition is singular, use a singular verb. If the object of the preposition is plural, use a plural verb. When you say 2/3 of the candy bars were chocolates. So 2/3 of what? 2/3 of the candy bars. So our subject is this, candy bars. So since candy bars is a plural subject, so the verb has to be plural. 20% of the students are 4th graders. Now what is the subject here? It's students. 20% of what? 20% of the students. Since the subject is plural, verb has to be plural. But if you said 2/3 of the candy bar, not bars, the sentence would be 2/3 of the candy bar was chocolate. And last but not the least, the last rule is be careful with indefinite pronouns. Now when you say indefinite pronouns, there are actually 3 different rules. First, indefinite pronouns do not replace a specific noun. The word each one, either, neither, everyone, everybody, anybody, anyone, nobody, somebody, someone, and no one are singular and require singular verb. So with all these indefinite pronouns, we'll use singular verb. Now if you have a sentence like each of the students was present there. Each one was present there. Either of the students was present. Neither of the students was present. Everyone was present. Likewise. But the words both, few, many, others, and several are plural and require plural verbs. These indefinite pronouns will follow plural verbs like both of the students were present, few students were present, many students were present, several students were present there. And the last rule with this indefinite pronoun is the words all, any, more, most, none, and some may be either singular or plural depending on what the indefinite pronoun refers to. So if you have got these words like all, any, more, most, none, then you need to know what is the subject. That depends on subject. Most of the time, if the subject is countable noun, the plural has to be the verb has to be plural. For example, countable nouns, the nouns which can be counted. For example, if you're saying all of the students, you can count the students. All of the students were present there. More students were present there. Most of the students were present there. Some students were present there. But if you're using an uncountable noun, so you will be using a singular verb like all. All the light was inside the room. Okay, so likewise, all these things, if the subject is uncountable, the verb always has to be singular. The examples given here: someone in the back of the bus likes paper airplanes, and both of the boys have funny haircuts. So these were some of the rules that we have discussed today. I hope you must have understood. If you have got any queries, of course we'll be in touch with our WhatsApp group. You can email me, you can call me on WhatsApp group, you can message me, and I'll be more than happy to entertain your queries. So this will do for today. Thank you very much.